Hello everybody, I hope you're doing good today. This video will contain copyrighted images being used underneath the Fair Use Act for educational purposes. How's my fellow conspiracy theorists doing out there today? No, I'm not applying labels to you all, but Mark and Patricia have applied labels to me, you, and every other flat earther. That's right. They run around calling themselves conspiracy theorists in the media. I've never called myself that in my lifetime. I call myself somebody seeking the truth and recognizing the lies we're being told. So, Patricia got her stardom by an interview with the Hustler magazine. I don't know if it's going to go in print, but I hope it does because I wonder what they edited out or didn't include, like in some of their other interviews. Let's listen to this Hustler interview and notice this guy starts out by asking the question, how did you come upon flat earth? And Patricia doesn't start about that. She starts with becoming a conspiracy theorist first. Then 3 minutes later gets to how she became a flat earther by seeing Mark Sargent's Flat Earth Clues video on the recommended on the side on YouTube. Now, keep in mind, it's, utter bullshit. If somebody asks me how my flat earth journey started, I'm going to tell them about when I was 10 years old, when I flew off the merry-go-round from centrifugal forces. And then I sat there and I went back to the classroom and I sat there and I spanned the globe ball. And I says, wow, man, if I was standing on top of this ball spinning, I would go flying off. And then a little bit later on, I was told, no, gravity keeps you on the earth while it's spinning. And because of gravity, you can't feel the movement. And I says, well, you can't have it both ways. If gravity cancels out the centrifugal forces of the earth spinning, then it should cancel out the centrifugal forces of me spinning on the merry-go-round attached to the earth. And here I was, probably 10, 12 years old. And then back in 2001, 2002, I took a trip to California coast and took binoculars with me. I sit there, turned to the woman, and I says, well, there's no ships out there. Beautiful, clear day. And then I took my binoculars, I looked, and I says, wow, I could see all kinds of ships now. I guess they didn't go over the curve. Then about an hour later, the sun started setting. And as soon as part of the sun started setting, just the bottom portion of it, I took my binoculars and looked at the sun because it's far enough away. It's not going to hurt your eyes or anything to look at it. And I put the binoculars up and I looked at the sun and I could see the whole sun again. I said, perspective. And that's how my flat earth journey started. All right, so let's listen to Patricia's nonsense here.
Okay, well, how did you get into the flat earth thing?
Well, I was minding my own business one day, just looking at YouTube videos, which I have done for quite some time. I look at YouTube videos the way many of us do, as an entertainment source and as an information source. And so sometimes I use it for one and sometimes I use it for another. Look up a band, a new song, anything involving fashion and beauty. Those have been passions of mine. And then, of course, when...
Excuse me, ma'am. How did your flat earth journey start? We don't want your life story in 3 minutes, but that's what we get.
Something came along that piqued my curiosity. I would look at YouTube videos about it, and that was a lot of conspiracy things. A lot of women, they say, aren't interested in conspiracy-oriented topics. I don't find that to be true, but that's what the numbers say, that most people interested in conspiracy are primarily men.
Yeah,
but,
yeah.
I'm interested in anything because I know the world in which I live is not as they present it to us. And by they, I mean they in quotes. That could be many different people and organizations. And I don't mean anything like reptilian overlords. I mean based in reality.
Huh?
The people that are...
You mean the reptilian overlords like NASA and their serpent tongue?
what I call the powers that should not be. And those could be people we know the names of, and people even higher than them who we don't know the names of, who really, I think, control a lot of what really goes on beyond presidents and chancellors, et cetera, et cetera. But I was looking at things like 9/11, Boston bombing, Sandy Hook, et cetera. And it's a rabbit hole that you go down once you look at these things. And it's irresistible, actually, to keep digging further and further and further. And I ended up looking at moon landing hoax videos, two in particular.
Hoax videos.
One of them is Something Funny Happened on the Way to the Moon. Bart Sibrel is the one who created that. And also another one of his, Astronauts Gone Wild. Both of those got me scratching my head because at this
That sounds like a porn movie, eh, Hustler?
current date of 2017 in November, I'm 54 years old. I'll be 55 in February of 2018. And, I grew up with the moon landing. It happened during my lifetime. I just believed it was true. I was never researching the moon landing. I just it was a given, like, water's wet and, we breathe oxygen.
Right.
But, upon further examination, which was spurred by watching the Astronauts Gone Wild and a funny thing happened on the way to the moon, I determined through, actually quite a lot of research that never really happened as we've been told. It wasn't even a space race issue where we pretended to go to the moon because we had to beat Russia. It was way beyond that, to the point where we can't go to the moon. We can't go to any planets because planets aren't things you can land on, and we've been lied to. And well, I found another video along that way as I was going down the rabbit hole, which was on the sidebar, a suggested video, Mark Sargent's Flat Earth Clues.
Down the rabbit hole. They just love using that term, these agents, down the rabbit hole, because that's what they're doing with Flat Earth. They're running it down the rabbit hole. She just implied that 9/11, Sandy Hook, and Boston bombing, so on and so forth, it's all fake, and she's into those conspiracy theories. She just said that. Not in those exact words, but she just turned off 90% of the fucking people that are watching, the sheeple. And they act like this is good for media. Bad media is good media for the flat earth. It doesn't matter what they do. So, guess what? Took her 3 minutes to get to how she became a flat earther. Has nothing to do with conspiracy theorists, folks. But her and Mark run around calling themselves conspiracy theorists in the media. And you will see this in this next video. Because guess what? Mark Sargent was on Good Morning Britain with a NASA astronaut via Skype. That's right. And this thing was staged, set up from the get-go. I'm sure Mark got his script too, and he knew what everybody else was going to say and what he was to say. As you will see, this is all carefully scripted out, tying the flat earth community to conspiracy theorists, those crazy fools. So, anyways, so they get Mark Sargent on. I guess they couldn't get Mad Mike Hughes on there, so they had to settle with Mark Sargent. Little inside joke there. Yeah, IPS. I mean Tim Osman. Hello there. Anyways, let's get going here. With this clip here, they introduced Mark Sargent.
Right, despite all your extensive experience and the truth as seen by your own eyes,
right.
We want to introduce you to Mark Sargent in Seattle, because he says you're wrong. The world is flat. Mark, honestly?
Honestly. And by the way, Freddie wasn't joking around. He's one of ours.
Freddie is a sports player in Britain. Not racquetball, with cricket player in Britain, and he came out as a flat earther. Just another puppet pro athlete doing what he's told. Oops.
Absolutely. And by the way, sorry, happy birthday in advance to Terry. Hi, Terry. I know
Thank
you have
you.
a big one coming up.
Yeah.
I normally wouldn't
appreciate
say
it.
it, but it's a big one.
All right, enough
Okay,
of
Mark,
the people
Mark,
pleasing.
for those of us, call me stupid, who think the Earth is not flat but round.
Sure.
You are
Mainly because
stupid.
lots of people have been in orbit around the round Earth. Tell me why you think the Earth is flat.
I think the Earth is flat. The biggest reason is go to the beach with a high-powered HD camera and look off into the distance. About 10, 15 years ago, you could see ships go over the horizon, right? Now you can bring them back into frame. All you have to do is crank up the zoom. Technology has changed everything. And yes, as much as, look, Terry's one of my countrymen. I respect that. He's a commander of the United States military, which means he can keep secrets. What we're talking about here is very simple, like the graph, we're talking about all the world's a stage, and you're living basically in a big sound stage, and nobody figured it out until about 1956.
You notice Mark's got his new prop. It's his favorite prop now. He seems to use it a lot. Utter nonsense. And it's like he looks like a sick mental patient more and more, as you watch this video more and more, especially at the end, with his silly ass buffoonish looks on his face that he constantly does. I'm surprised he didn't wear his fake glasses. So, can't do a news interview without trying to sell a new book. So, let's see who Mark's helping sell a new book.
Complete nonsense. You're a conspiracy.
Terry? No, not Terry.
No, I'm talking
Mark.
to Terry.
Okay.
I'm just saying what
Right,
Mark's
right.
saying. He's,
Right.
he's talking complete nonsense. You're part of the NASA conspiracy. You've all been lying to us for decades. The Earth is flat. You've heard
Well,
of that.
I have this new book out, View from Above.
Yeah.
And I would say this is a great place. There's one picture for
Yeah.
folks in Britain. This is probably one of my favorite
Show
pictures.
it to that camera
But
there.
here we go. Okay.
Terry?
So this is
That one there, yeah.
There we go. This is a great picture of the UK
Yeah.
Yeah.
and the northern lights in the background, which are amazing. And it's kind of a round Earth there. So
So, Mark,
So
I
you've
got to see it.
Well, but
Yeah, there you go. That's proof it's a ball Earth, everybody, from this book he didn't write. And this guy looks, as you watch this interview, if you watch it, he kind of looks like, man, let's just hurry up and get this fucking bullshit over. I don't want to be on here lying my ass off. But he's on there lying his ass off willingly and getting paid well for it. But then he gets a cut of his new book that he didn't write. Yeah, proof of a ball Earth. So anyways, Mark tells him, hey, don't Google flat Earth.
it's round.
I mean,
Yeah.
Mark, when you take a tennis ball or a football and you run
Right.
around it, it's round.
Well, the Greeks figured
It's
that
the same
out
as the planet.
several thousand years ago.
Right. So, Mark, I put it to you, you're talking utter nonsense.
It's obviously utter nonsense. It's obviously insanity. In fact, I encourage anyone that's listening to the sound of my voice, don't Google flat Earth. Don't do it. I will counter his.
There you go, folks. Don't do it. No. And again, he makes a reference that he's crazy. He does this over and over. And when they start calling flat Earth people conspiracy theorists, then 99% of the people watching the media are going to call them just that, crazy. All right, let's keep going here. Why would people lie? That's the question he gets asked.
Let me put this question to you.
Yeah.
Let's assume for a moment you're right. Why would anybody bother to lie about whether the Earth is round or flat? Who benefits from the biggest lie in history?
You hear the astronaut, he's laughing in the background. Now notice Mark, he could have danced all around this question. He doesn't answer it. In fact, he acts like he didn't hear the question right. And then he answers it again, and he still didn't answer the question asked. Like I said, this is all scripted. Dude in the background, the astronaut laughing. Why would people lie? Jeez, how about billions and billions of dollars?
Why would it matter?
Come on, Piers, you would break that story knowing the shock waves that would ripple throughout our
Why would it
civilization?
matter, Mark? Why would somebody start the lie? Why would somebody wake up one day and go, you know what? we're going to pretend
See how he looks crazy? Like, ooh.
the Earth is actually round when it's flat. Why would anyone do that?
Oh, no, I got you there. What we're talking about is much bigger than that. I'm talking about if this place was built, that means it was built by someone, which means you're not alone, which means whoever the things were that built this place.
Whoever the things were that built this place in his dome, his snow globe, his terrarium. Got to keep his serpents warm, his fellow serpents at NASA warm, with his terrarium. Oh, I mean snow globe. Wow, that's a vastly different world, isn't it? Do we live under a terrarium or do we live under a snow globe? I'd love the terrarium, tropical. Anyways, you see the nonsense here. Let's listen some more.
Probably were the ones that introduced the globe model to begin with.
Right, okay. So, Terry, apparently there were a bunch of aliens who built planet Earth and
Pretend it's round.
And they pretended it was round.
Well, it's funny. Conspiracy theorists, I appreciate that people think the government is so capable and we can keep secrets and stuff like that. But, you know, the simplest secrets, you can't even get one person to stay quiet about something. So how...
And there they go. Mark set them up and they ran with it. Mark set it up by saying some things built this, and then Piers Morgan, the fraud himself, oh, aliens built it now. Those crazy flat earthers, you crazy conspiracy theorists listening to this channel. That's what Mark and Patricia are advertising, us real people that are seeking truth as conspiracy theorists. Now, listen to this. They really make Mark look stupid here. And they go through a list of things like, what do you believe? And then Mark portrays himself off as not even being American, disgusted with America or whatever. You'll see.
Can I ask Mark, do you believe that men have been on the moon, Mark?
No, do not believe anything the Americans tell you about their space program at all.
Wow. Yeah, I'm not American, so don't believe anything those crazy Yanks tell you about their space stations.
Right, but you're an American, are you or not?
I absolutely am an American.
Why should I believe you as an American, but not any other American?
I'm saying that you don't need 100,000 people to keep this thing a secret. As a matter of fact, less is more. Need-to-know basis. The only guys that need to be in on this, none of the wrench turners at NASA. All you need is the telemetry guys and those bosses.
Can I ask
Everybody
you,
else in.
Can I ask you another thing? Do you believe Hillary Clinton won the U.S. presidential election?
I didn't vote. Sorry. I didn't really.
Do you think Elvis is still...
She didn't ask you who you vote for. She asked you if you think Hillary won. You see the nonsense here? This is all set up. Let me back this up, because listen to this lady, what she squeaks in at the last minute.
I didn't vote. Sorry. I didn't really.
Do you think Elvis is still alive, Mark?
He doesn't vote.
No, I don't. I don't believe that Elvis is still alive.
Wow.
Sorry.
Oh,
okay.
That's
amazing.
where you part company with the rest
I
of the
believe in a lot of
conspiracy
things, but no.
Did you hear? Oh, no, I believe Elvis isn't alive. Oh, well, that's where you part ways with the other conspiracy theorists. Let's listen to this lady again.
Alive.
Wow.
Sorry.
Okay.
That's
amazing.
where you part company with the rest
I
of the
believe in a lot
conspiracy
of
theorists.
things, but no. Elvis, no.
Yeah. So there you go, folks. Just making us look like buffoons. And it's really, look at the looks on his face. He gives them stupid mental looks on his face. Mental anguish. Like he's having mental breakdowns. And you're really going to see it in the ending of this video of how they end this clip. Let's watch.
The worst
make
thing
it
about being
entertaining.
in space.
The worst thing about being in space, losing stuff. I mean, like if
How
you
do
don't
lose
have
stuff?
If you don't have a Ziploc bag or Velcro or a tether, that whatever it is will float away within your socks.
Your socks,
Your socks are
would float.
So it would help Susanna because they would just disappear.
They'd just be floating.
There you go. They just happen to have a pair of socks laying behind them. Like I said, this is scripted from start to finish, and Mark is just playing his acting job. He's one of them guys. He's one of these guys right here. That's Mark, one of them. One of the liars. One of the prostitutes of government. Now let's look at the look on Mark's face at the end of this.
Floating in space.
They end up in the air conditioner vent. Is where you find them. Yes.
Terry, it's a brilliant book. It's a great
Thank
honour
you.
to have a real astronaut with us. We greatly appreciate
Thank
you
you.
coming in. And Mark, you know what, mate? Each to their own. If you want.
You see the silly ass, buffoonish, mental patient looks he gives.
I keep believing the Earth's flat. Nobody went to the moon. Good luck to you, my friend.
There you go, folks. They're just running the flat Earth community into the ground and down the rabbit hole. Have a good day.